Hi guys, welcome to another week, another Tuesday. Lovely, what a beautiful Tuesday it is too. Although it is very windy, and I've got an interesting little kind of challenge to do today. And that is that I've borrowed Maddie's clubs. We've got Ping Orange Dot, G series, and they got ladies graphite shafts. They're kind of probably an inch shorter than standard. And my woods I've got for today are Aero Burner High Loft Ladies Flex 45 matrix shaft, and it's a 14-degree loft. Now, considering I used double X and I'm 8 degrees loft on my driver, this should be good fun. I don't know how it's going to go. I've never hit these before. See how we get on. Should be interesting. We'll see if this kind of custom fit thing is all what it cracks out to be. I've got no idea how it's going to go. I'd imagine a 14-degree loft's going to go pretty high with a lady's light shaft. We'll see. The grips seem to be okay. She must have pretty big hands. But other than that, it feels like a bit of a toy, really. We'll see. Let's see how we get on. I'm just going to give it a whack up here, see how it goes. And I'll try and sort of change my swing accordingly. I'm not sure quite how it's going to go, but I'll try and get the maximum I can out of these clubs, see if I can keep them online. Let's give it a go, see what we think. Okay, so one other thing, I'm using a ladies velocity golf ball. It's kind of a low compression, so we're fully laded up. See how this goes. That went so high. That is so weird. Oh my gosh. Luckily it went straight, but boy, has that gone high. Okay, so the first one's gone pretty straight. I didn't really have a lot of kind of deviation left to right. It was straight down the middle. It did immediately go very high though. It was almost like the shaft was kicking it high. Having said that, it's a 14 degree, so we would expect it to go high with a lot of spin. With that more spin though, it's going to hold it on its course a bit better rather than those flat ones that veer off. It's well short for my other one. To be honest, I would have rather maybe a ladies shaft 8-degree driver. That would have been a bit better, but because this really is kind of a 2-wood. But I'm in pretty good shape. Looks like I'm up the middle on the fairway, and it's going to be should be fun in from here because I'm hitting her clubs, and my clubs are an inch longer than standard with stiff shafts, and these are shorter with ladies light flexy ones. Oh well, let's give it a go. Got 146 in, slight breeze from left to right, so I've got no idea on the flight of these. Clubs look pretty good, they look alright, although they feel a little bit kind of short and a little bit flat for me, and these grips seem to be a bit smaller as well, so they feel a little bit toy-like. But let's try, see if we can keep this one online. Right, that's gone kind of a little bit high. It was kind of high flighted, went off to the right and into a bunker. Boo. So normally I would expect to be, with my drive, probably another, I reckon I've lost 70 yards there. It's quite a lot. The flight, the flatness and the spin, and then you've got the that added loft, adding a bit more spin in this wind. We were okay for direction, but nah, that's I'm not convinced so far. So what would I need to do to sort this out? I'm actually going to try, next time I hit it, I think I'd stay with the same rhythm, but I might just try and hold it off a little bit and hold that flight down, which is going against what the club's trying to do. but next hole I do need a little bit of length. We need to try and get it out there. What have I done here? I'm in this bunker. Isn't that amazing? I very rarely go in greenside bunkers. First hole with these clubs, straight in one. There you go. Now I've got to get up and down without my Vokey wedge. Oh no. That was all right. I think I might be able to save my par now. Guess we'll see, won't we? Bad. I'll take that. Lucky though. Up and down. I'm going to go a 5-iron. It is into the wind hard today. That should be enough. Again, it's just not penetrating at all. That's gone just high, off to the right. I think I'm short of the bunker. Looks like we got another chip and putt on our hands with that funky wedge. Whoa, it's getting windy now. This is the last thing I need. All these high flighted shots. All right, pretty simple chip shot, but definitely not used to this wedge. A little bit long. Just feels slightly firmer than my wedge. It's just gone slightly long there. Got to do a bit of a putt here to make this up. Bogey, that was tough. In this wind, that was tough. 1 over. Do you know, I've almost forgotten about the look of the golf clubs when I get down to them, so I'm trying so hard just to put a good swing on it and get it close. I've stopped thinking about it. And I think that's a good tip for you guys. If you focus enough, it's amazing how many things externally disappear. I had a question from Padraig, my friend Padraig from Donegal. He was saying about kind of getting distracted by outside agencies, you know, like horns tooting or somebody jangling their keys or somebody moving behind the hole. My advice, Padraig, to you, I think it's the level of focus, it's the level of intensity. I think intensity is the wrong word. Intensity kind of makes it out like it's really hard work. I just think, like, you know, when you're concentrating and you're, I don't know, watching something or you're writing something and someone else is talking to you, you can almost not hear them. Because you're concentrating, you're in that zone while you're doing that thing. Those outside agencies don't really come into play. You don't really hear them. So I would just question your level of concentration and where it is directed. Now, you've probably seen various ways of focusing. I've always found the best one is the kind of micromanage focusing. So if you're trying to hit your tee shot, obviously the first thing, you need that picture in your brain really vivid of what it's going to do. And then you connect that with the swing you're going to put on it. You know, so if you're hitting a high one or a low one or a left to right, right to left, but always have a vision of where it's going to go. Now, if you get down there and you just think it's up there somewhere, I'm going to try and hit a good shot, that is when the outside agencies start creeping in, because you're not really focusing. You're sort of swinging and like almost there's an expectancy of what's going to come because you've done it many times before and, you know, you're a good player. So I would up that to really micro focusing on your shots. So don't just aim at a tree. Aim at a leaf on that tree and think about what the wind's doing and what your shot's going to do to get it to that point, that exact point. If you're aiming at a green, aim at a quadrant of the green, or even the side edge of a bunker that you're aiming at, or if you're aiming at the pin, it's a straight shot and you've got a wedge, focus on that pin, try and hold it, really try and hold it. And that is when everything else starts to disappear. That's when you get into kind of that zone where it doesn't matter what goes on behind you, you're not concentrating, you're focusing so much on what you're doing that the other things kind of pale into insignificance. You don't even hear them. I think when you start to hear those outside agencies or outside distractions, it's you just want to up that level of concentration and what you're focusing on. Give it a go, man, see how it goes. Anyway, back on the shot. We're on the 9th, really tricky hole, really windy today. I'm dead worried about hitting this high lofted shot. I'm going to tee it low and try and hit kind of a low, oh dear, like a low cutter, I suppose. I got to fade this one a bit. I've almost got to punch it because there's trouble all down the left, which I definitely don't want to go into because it's a lake. And if it goes out to the right, we're gone as well. I'm going to tee this one low. Generally speaking, when I want to hit a low, like a low bullet, I'm always aiming for the toe of the golf club a little bit. For me, that helps the spin stay down. Right, I'm not comfortable about this at all, but we'll give it a go. I'm almost going to try and punch it up there, but I still want to be very smooth, or else this shaft is going to send me all over the shop. Do you know what, that's actually gone well. I don't feel like I've got any control. It's gone straight. I mean, I really tried to keep that down a little bit. I don't know whether you could see I had a bit of a cut off follow through. Just trying my hardest to be as smooth as I can and not whack it. It has gone straight. It's not gone very far. Sort of took off a bit, even though I tried to keep it down. I think the wind got under it as well as the spin, that 14 degrees and that shaft is putting on the ball. But again, it's pretty straight. Wasn't anything like as bad as what I thought it might do. It's gone straight. We're in pretty good shape actually. That kind of went a bit like my, God, I almost say 5-iron. You know, with that less spin and the more penetrative strike. I think we're in good shape though. Right, this one's really weird. So I've got a straight 140 and I just don't know what club to hit. So I'm going to hit the 8-iron. See if I can hold it down and keep it straight. That's gone straight right. Like all the other iron shots, that's just gone high and right. Right, I'm really gonna have to learn from that. And it's a little bit like when you're out and you're starting to hit some bad shots. You say you started topping it, or you started hitting it fat. It's this is the time when a better player learns from the previous shot and are able to make those allowances, because we all don't swing exactly the same all the time. We're all kind of making allowances. So, you know, if you're topping it off the tee, maybe you want to move the ball back in its position, back towards the center of the stance a little bit. Maybe it's getting too far outside your right heel. You know, if you're fatting it, maybe you're just coming too steep down on it. Try and sweep it a bit more. And you try and tinker with it when you're out in the round. By the way, I'm in the trees. That's what I was aiming for. Gone in there. A bit awkward, isn't it? A bit embarrassing, to say the least. Hopefully no one's watching. Oh God. Oh, okay, I'm just here. So I've got a massive downslope there, and I've got this chip shot. Nightmare. Okay, well, I've got an excellent lie, but horrible shot. Just gonna try and chip it onto the edge of that green with a bit of spin, hopefully, and roll down that slope. on, go on. I was taking the slope now. Wouldn't believe it possible to stop that short. Oh well. Stay up, stay up. Oh, it's another bogey. It's really hard when you miss your iron shots. I can almost put up with drivers going offline, but iron shots into greens from 140. What have I had? I had 130 on the first. The second one was a long par 3, which is tough anyway. And then I had 140. Missed every green. Got up and down once, so 2 over. Tricky. Got to try and learn, can I fix this? Can I fix it? Maybe I've got to slow my club head speed down with the irons. I don't really want to do that, because I'm kind of testing out how crucial it is to be custom fit for your swing speed. Just wondering whether you can adapt to any club, you know? Not proving to be that easy. I thought I'd be able to do this quite quick. On to the 10th, 390. Same sort of thing, nice and smooth. Just get it down there. The wind's just off my back. I did that really nice there, but come left. That's such a shame. I hit that really nice then. I managed to square the club face with all the bits going on. Had a just soft draw on it, but I was really expecting it to take off and take that wind and fade over to the right. It didn't. It just kind of bored into the wind. You know what it's like when you hit a really good swing, good strike. Wind generally doesn't affect it that much within reason, but very much dependent on a nice, smooth, well-timed, well-struck shot. Generally speaking, when you're into a hard wind or you're playing with wind, it's so hard a discipline just to focus on doing that, just taking an extra club. That's when your best shots come out, not the time where you absolutely rip into it trying to fight that wind. I'm in a bit of bother again now. Oh, this is mad. Now I'm missing fairways as well. It's just so not predictable. I guess, yeah, you get used to your own clubs. And to be honest, I've had the same shaft in all my drivers because I keep changing it over for the last probably 5 years. It's just the shaft that works for me. I know it's great for my swing speed. My swing speed's between 108 when I'm lazy and about 114 when I'm, you know, giving it a bit of a whack and feeling good. So, I mean, it's not super slow. So this lady's lightweight shaft should be causing me all sorts of problems. It's not that bad. I mean, you know, you would have thought it would be really swirly and all over the place, but not too bad. Oh, bit of luck as well. I've carried the trouble and I'm on the other fairway. Ha! Probably got away with this now. Because I'm on someone else's fairway here. I'm just going to quickly hit this and get it out of the way. Straightforward shot though. So, okay, my key so far is going up a club and swinging it smoother. Worked out okay on that one. It's just a little wedge shot. And I just went mega smooth on it. And I managed to keep the club face square, which is, I guess, what we're after. First birdie with the ladies' clubs. All right, we're back in town. So I've now got sort of a long uphill par 5, which I think I'm gonna have to try and strategize my way through that somehow, because everything I've got is flying quite high. I feel like I need to keep this one down again. We'll see how we get on. 2 more holes to go. What am I now? What did I drop? 1, 2. Oh, back to 1 over. Well, it should be a birdie hole. Might have to hit this driver off the deck. If I can hit the fairway, I'll be able to hit it off the deck. So on this one, I don't really know whether to go, whether to hit it just hard, smooth but hard, and try and get a bit of extra flight that way, or to try and hit like a low hooker up there, or whether to just try and smooth one into the centre of the fairway, which will allow me to hit this driver for my second shot. So if I go into the rough, I've got no chance of getting up in 2 for sure. Okay. I feel like he's going pretty straight actually. It's all right. I'm hitting it right at the centre of the club. Yeah, every time. I've got loads of. I hope I haven't cracked it. No, I don't think so. Okay, here we go. Let's. Okay, I've got to think of my shot, picture it. I'm going to go for a draw up the middle, off the right edge of that bunker. Nice and smooth again. Yeah, that's right on my slot there. Yeah, that was just at the left side of the bunker, which is where I was aiming with just a soft draw on it. So I'm really happy with the swing, out the centre. Boy, did it go high again though. So this is the edge of the bunker that I was actually aiming at. I was pretty sure I could carry it, so, and it kicks in from right to left, and it's kicked up to in the middle again. I should check how far that's gone. Did that quite well again actually. I felt like I put a pretty good swing on it. It was exactly the line I was after. The flight sort of took off a bit. Again, that's the driver and a little bit of this wind, but I reckon I can just hit this off the deck. Like, this could go a bit squirrely, you know, because I'm just going to hit it normal, you know. I think I'm going to try and I'm going to hit it out, because where we're going is where those buggies are. See those buggies up there? I don't know whether you can see them. And I'm going to hit it out to the left here and fade it up, because it does slightly go around the corner. If you over fade it, it's okay. If you catch a straight one, it's kind of okay. Just need a bit of a flight on it. Kind of don't expect to get there. Got about 250, between 250 and 260 up quite a steep hill and slightly into the wind. So this just ain't gonna cut the mustard, but we'll see. Oh, that's quite a big head. Fair play, that is a big old head to hit off the fairway. Go on, I'll give it a go, shall I? This is risky, could be a card wrecker. Oh, that's bang on it. Bang on it. Yeah, it's short, it's bang on though. I'm well happy with that. It's gone about the same distance as my 4-iron, but I'm just happy that I didn't completely fat duff it, or the shaft took off on me and it just went straight right into the trouble. To be honest with you, I've not had any severe movement on the ball, apart from height, but that's more than anything to do with the loft. The shaft itself, I feel like I've kind of got used to it now. I'm getting the maximum I can get out of a 14 degree, 2 inches shorter than standard driver. It's all right now actually. I was reading it on the first. There's out of bounds all down the right, but that really was quite a long way offline for me. My ball just knock on the fairway. I must have pumped that one out nearly 220 yards. Okay, but I've got a nice simple shot up there. enough. I just pushed it slightly. When you're going up like a high slope like this, you always feel like you want to give it just slightly more. And then sometimes you just lean into it. And also that little divot was catching me a bit, but yeah, it looks pretty close. What have we got here? Yeah, you can see that I pushed it slightly to the right. Yeah, but that's birdie time, I'd say. Here you go. Good shape for birdie. Pitched about there. Run up to pin high. Might get this back to level par. A little bit of break on it. Not too much though. Don't want to overread this because it'll definitely miss right if I do that. Yeah, good putt then. Yeah, well happy with that. That's a good birdie. Back to level. Oh, that's amazing. 2 drivers. I can't really call it a driver, can I? It's a strong 3-wood. You know, with that shorter shaft. It's just such a deep face on it. That's the trouble. Last hole. We can still do some damage. It's par 3, and I don't feel like I've fully got to grips with the setup of the mid irons, and I'm going to have about a 6 iron into this hole. It's 180, but it's kind of just down a slope, so it plays about 170. It's kind of a 6 iron for me. Oh, the pin's back right. Okay, so in theory the pin is back right, and I've hit all my iron shots slightly off to the right and high. So I reckon if I aim to the left quadrant of the green, it should, yeah, just put a normal smooth swing on it, it should just kind of drop off to the right just about nice. So that is what I'm going to do. Last hole, level par. It's got to be worth going for another birdie, but don't want to drop one. I'd love to finish on level. Right, so I'm going to aim just down to the left side, and for my money it should just block out to the right. Exactly what we thought. That's exactly what we thought. Ah, oh, that's a lovely shot. That's hilarious, isn't it? That is that is just happened so like we thought it was going to. I just put a normal swing on it, aimed about 25 yards to the left of the flag, and it's in really good shape, but it's now just about 3 paces to the right of the flag. So if I'd have aimed at the flag, as I would have before on all the other ones, I would have missed that by 10 paces or more to the right of the green, which would have been a nightmare. So, you know, sometimes you don't even have to change your swing. Sometimes you can just think, right, I'm putting a 15-yard fade on everything, same swing. You don't want to change your entire golfing life to work with that, but you do on that day, you know, because we change a bit, and sometimes we swing it slightly differently, a little bit stiffer here and there. But what you do want to do is be able to adapt to what you're doing. And sometimes, to be honest with you, if you're just hitting it a bit to the right, just the same setup, same swing, aim a little bit to the left. Sounds crazy, doesn't it? But it sometimes is that simple. Here we go, that was good. That was 180. I hit a 7 iron in the end. And see what we got. Here we go. So I was aiming over in that back left-hand pocket. I knew that if I'd hit it straight, that back left pocket was fine. So it wasn't like I was completely, if it was water or something, it would be a little bit of a dodgy aim, you know. But I knew there's no trouble there, and I could have landed in that little quadrant over there and it would have been fine. But there you go, I just, same thing, light shafts, flexi shafts, pitch just there. I got a really quite a makeable birdie putt now. Come on, that was quite nice. Look, perfect distance as well. I'm getting the kind of, the weights are starting to get much better. That was one of the things I was really worried about. It's quite windy out here now. Break. Oh. Oh, it's a little bit wimpy finish, wasn't it? I should have put a better putt on that. But it did slightly break to the right, so I just misread that. I thought that was going to break right to left a bit more. But really happy with that. Thanks for watching, guys. That's level par with the latest clubs. It just shows you can adapt. Hopefully there's a few little lessons in there for you guys to look at. And look forward to seeing you on Friday. If you're enjoying the content, guys, give it a little like. If you've not subscribed, subscribe responsibly. Cheers, guys.